Hey guys, Bottom25 here. Continuing the journey of the Flying Scotsman from London to Brighton. So we're currently stopped at 3 bridges. Actually no, we'll keep that at 17. Yeah, there's the regular service passing through. Yeah, I'll turn that off just for now. Well, I'll continue telling you the history of the locomotive. Well, I think we stopped at when she retained the double chimney without German smoke detectors. Right. Shortly afterwards, German smoke detectors were refitted. It also carried the redundant A4 boiler. A4, I presume, is like the same class Mallard. Right, so the Flying Scotsman is regular use both in the VSOE Pullman, VSOE Venison Plan Orient Express, and with other events on the main line. In 2002, Marshington proposed a business plan which included the construction of a Flying Scotsman village in Edinburgh to create revenue from associated branding. After floating on OFEX, I've got no idea what that is, as Flying Scotsman plc in the same year, in 2003 Edinburgh City Council turned down the village plans. And in September 2003, Marshington was declared bankrupt. I'm starting to see a pattern here. At the company's AGM in October 2003, CEO Peter Butler announced losses of £474,619 and was £1.5 million overdraft at Barclays Bank, and stated that the company only had enough cash to trade until April 2004. The company's shares were suspended from OFEX on 3rd November after it failed to declare interim results. Now moving on to the National Railway Museum area of preservation. Holy crap. I was wondering why this thing was having a bit of an issue. Like, why the frame rate was so low. Can I just do that? Yeah, let's just do that, because if you look back there, the frame rate shall be brutally massacred. Like, look at that. I guess this also works. Jesus Christ. They just keep pouring out, like, holy... Like, seriously. I mean, to be fair... Oh my god, there's people on the tracks. Jesus Christ. I mean, to be fair, this is pretty accurate when Flying Scotsman shows up, but Jesus. No, just... I'm just going to open the map, because there must be a locomotive in front of us. Alright, so let's talk about the National Railway Museum area also. So we are buzzing by there. Right. These bastards that ruins everything for us, the previous London Victoria Brighton. Right, so in February 2004, a debt agency acting on behalf of Flying Scotsman plc announced it would hold a sealed bid auction for the locomotive to be held on 2nd of April. Amid media fears that it could be sold into foreign hands, the National Railway Museum in New York announced that it would bid and appealed for funds. They succeeded with a bid of £2.3 million, 15% higher than the second highest. The bulk of the money came from a £1.8 million grant from the National Heritage Memorial Fund, with the remainder coming from £350,000 raised from donations, which was matched by Richard Branson, with another £70,000 being raised by the Yorkshire Post newspaper. Included in the sale was the A3 pattern spare boiler, built in 1944 and carried by Scotsman from 65 to 78, spare cylinders and a Mark I support coach. The locomotive arrived in New York in time to be exhibited as part of the museum's Railfest 2004, a celebration of 200 years of rail travel. Under pressure from donors, instead of being placed on static display, it was decided to use the locomotive for charter trains out of York, as well as on the Scarborough Spa Express, York to Scarborough. Yeah, sorry about that. No problems with its condition soon became apparent, having failed on the delivery trip to Railfest, arriving in tow after considerable remedial work. It then proceeded to fail numerous times in the following months, where the museum's engineering staff kept constantly busy effecting hunting repairs, but failed to spot critical faults that would delay the subsequent overhauls and restoration. From September 2004 until May 2005, it was put into the workshop for a heavy intermediate repair, the intention being to improve reliability and allow for operations until its heavy general repair, and which is the technical term for overhaul and restoration. The intermediate repair failed to improve reliability, and so the decision was taken to go ahead with the overhaul and restoration, which lasted 10 years from 2006 to 2016. In January 2006, Flying Scotsman duly entered the National Railway Museum's workshop for a major overhaul to return it to Gresley's original specifications and to renew its boiler certificate. It was initially estimated this would only take 1 year and cost around £750,000. The bay in which the locomotive was being refurbished was on view to visitors on the NRM, but the engine was rapidly dismantled to such an extent that the running plate was the only component recognisable to the casual observer. Running plate, is that just the foot plate? Or that? Is that the running plate? I have no idea. Has the... No, it's only gotten worse. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to figure out where we get better FPS, because like once we're out of range of this place... Holy... Hold on. It takes 3 seconds for 1 second to pass. Like, look at that. Holy... I mean, like I said, yeah, this is what happens when Scotsman shows up anywhere, but oh my god, no, the glitches. Just close the damn door already. This is starting to get really worrying. Good morning, my computer will explode. Right, in anticipation of the restoration, the spare A3 boiler had been dispatched in June 2005 to Riley and Son to be completely rebuilt. It was to be used instead of the A4 boiler, both out of desire to restore the locomotive to original condition, and because it was deemed that the A4 boiler, both out of the desire to and because it was deemed that the A4 boiler had deteriorated. Sorry about that. It says depart 9:44. It's 9:45, and you haven't bothered closing the doors. No? I'm confused because we should have been allowed to depart. Have I broken this game or something? So if I open the regulator... We've been here a minute. This pisses me off now. This honestly pissed me off because I have no idea. I'm not willing to redo the whole thing. It feels like, oh, they're holding us back to 9:44. At least this is better, so I'll just carry on from here because this doesn't seem to have the gigantic number of people on the platform. And we've got a decent FPS. Right, so. So the A4 boiler had deteriorated into a worse state than the spare. Due to high operating pressures the locomotive had experienced following the operating of the locomotive to 250 psi during its last private overhaul. Deemed surplus to requirement, the A4 boiler was sold to Jeremy Hosking for potential use on his locomotive, Bittern, an actual A4. In July 2007, the museum pushed back the expected completion date by 18 months due in part to issues with the boiler restoration. By January 2009, with further problems encountered including misaligned frames and a cracked right-hand cylinder as well as due to rising metal prices, the museum launched the SOS Saver Scotsman appeal seeking to raise a further £250,000, hoping to complete the work by 2010. In May 2011, the locomotive was unveiled on the museum's turntable, finished in wartime black LNER livery. I.e. this. Following final testing, it was planned to finish it in LNER Apple Green and have it running excursions by the summer. June 2011, cracks were discovered in the horn blocks, which led to further testing, which discovered numerous laying cracks throughout the frame assembly, leading to the replacement of the main stretcher bar, horn tine, and middle cylinder motion bracket, all of which were deemed beyond repair. Yeah. In October 2012, with the project still unfinished, the museum published a report examining the reasons for delay and additional costs. It found that the museum had greatly underestimated the work required due to the poor condition of the locomotive, much of which had been missed by a rushed inspection, which produced an overly optimistic assessment, which was not based on engineering realities. It also found that once the project was underway, management lacked the experience, continuity, or resources to undertake such a complex task, which was also hampered by illness and recruitment issues. Though the museum had a formal contract system to manage suppliers, managers failed to implement it properly, and it was ill-suited to the cottage industry nature of the heritage railway sector, which the suppliers were largely drawn from, which I think means basically you don't have mass-produced stuff. You have to make things one-off, which are expensive and time-consuming. What actually is her whistle? Is it fitted just next to the... Yeah, it's fitted behind the smoke deflector. Right, so many of the suppliers failed to meet their contractual targets. Problems were also caused by the conflicting objectives of producing a certified mainline locomotive while retaining as many original components and assemblies as possible, and between the need to overhaul the locomotive and use it as a marketing tool for the museum. The report recommended the NRM consider the scope, size and responsibilities of their project management and engineering functions and their contracting policy. Following the report, the National Railway Museum commissioned first-class partnerships to independently review the remaining work identified as necessary by the NRM and make recommendations on how to proceed. In March 2013, the museum announced FCP had determined the locomotive would not return to the main line until 2015 and believed the outstanding work should be put out to external tender. On 29th of October 2013, the museum announced Riley & Son and Bury, Greater Manchester, as the winning contractor, and the same day the locomotive was moved to their workshop in order to return it to running condition, no earlier than summer 2015. On 29th of April 2015, Flying Scotsman boiler left the National Railway Museum to be reunited with the rest of the locomotive at Riley & Son and Bury. However, the museum rescheduled the locomotive to be back in service by late 2015, early 2016. Good, let's depart then. Let's close cylinder cocks. I have no idea what the issue was with the first run. Oh, it's starting to snow. Which, while nice and all, it does lead to that. And since steam locomotives don't have windshield wipers, so we're probably going to keep the sander on for a longer time. Right, so, return to service. The overhaul was completed in January 2016 and testing began on the East Lancs Railway on 8th of January 2016. I think we can close on this because remember snow does cause slippage of the wheels, which actually I've run LNER A2 Blue Peter once on the south. It's some kind of main line between Southampton and Bournemouth, I think. Yeah, that had an issue where the wheels spun to a speed of like 200 and something miles per hour, or even faster. Just spun up so quickly because of wheel slip, because the crew weren't properly trained with that particular locomotive. Right, so. With the locomotive still wearing 2011 wartime black livery with numbers 60103 on the smoke box and its appropriate LNER wartime numbers 103 and 502 on the cab sides. This is just 102, isn't it? 103, sorry. I'm just making sure we don't get surprised, like a surprise red. thrown into the mix here. Carefully managing both the regulator and the reverser just to be able to gain as much speed as possible. Like, Flying Scotsman was originally planned to haul its inaugural mainline train called the Winter Cumbrian Mountain Express, I presume Railway Touring Company, from Manchester, Victoria to Carlisle on the 23rd of January, but it was cancelled due to the locomotive having faulty brakes. So can't seem to catch a break. Okay. I presume we'll just keep it at a slower pace until then. No, that's still a green. Okay, so we can still proceed as normal. So also the risk of running mainline operations is that everything can be going well for the steam locomotive, but if something messes up with the train in front of you, then you've got issues. I'm talking about this like from the first, like when the first time I went on an RPSI excursion, the thing had like we were fine, but then the dart broke down and that led to us breaking down eventually, like due to lack of boiler pressure and then just issues with getting the thing into gear, as they said. Right, so fortunately I can't see the next signal. Nope, still greens. First mainline run pulling the Winter Cumbrian Mountain Express from Carnforth to Carlisle took place on the 6th of February. There we go, we're almost up to 80 and then we'll be up to 90 in no time. Look at those wheels go. Like I said, just have to keep a close eye on the signals because we probably will have to bring her to a stop. Because as you can see, that says we'll be there almost 8 minutes out of schedule. So we are going downhill. Oh, so the next signal is also green, which is good. Our inaugural journey from London King's Cross to York in British Railways Brunswick Green livery ran on the 25th of February. Which station is this? Whoop. Balcombe. Right. Just a bit of power there, just carefully adjusting. Now, in reality, this would not be possible. The maximum speed for a mainline steam locomotive is 70 in the UK. With the exception of Tornado, it can go up to 90, but yeah, no. Around the 25th of February, however, during the event, railway enthusiasts accidentally stopped Flying Scotsman due to their trespassing on the line near St. Neots. And she made special tours throughout Great Britain in 2016. Okay, we're past 80. I almost said knots. If we see a yellow signal, we are stepping on the brakes and bringing her right down. So just hit a quick save here now so things don't go wrong. Oh, I remember crossing this viaduct, yeah. I'll just quickly zip ahead. You've got just your regularly scheduled southern train. And then you've got Scotsman in wartime black. I don't know why, but the snow like really gives it a proper feel like you are running this in the middle of a war. Hold up. I'm going to step on the right. Oh no, that's not us, that's just one of the sidings, I guess. Well, not -7. That's... Wait. Yeah, no, they would have given us a yellow, and yeah, no, we're fine. Our signal is green. Right, so in September 2016, the museum announced the final cost of restoration as £4.5 million, having risen from the £4.2 million estimate released in summer 2015 due to further work being necessary and the need to meet the deadline for return to service. On 31st of March 2017, Flying Scotsman was chosen to lead an excursion train for the reopening of the Sutherland Carlisle line due to damage caused by landslip in late 2015 and early 2016. Now let's get to a section titled Debate over Restoration. Oh, that's a yellow. Right. I'll actually let her coast, and I said, would you let me brake, goddammit? We'll bring her down to about 50, I'd say. Actually, no, we'll let her... Right, so we got 2 yellows and then a red. So actually, yeah, no, we are. Let's keep it... Right, that's turned green. I'm keeping a close eye on this, because that would mean... Right, let's just stay at around 60 for the moment. Now, in 2011, the NRM announced the Flying Scotsman will be painted in LNER wartime black livery when it undergoes steam test and commissioning runs with the letters NE on the side and timber number 103 on one side of the cab and 502 on the other. The number it was given under LNER's renumbering system. The locomotive remained in black for the NRM's Flying Scotsman preview event. Now that's going to go off, and I don't want it. We're going to focus on that because I don't want to have to worry about... Well, actually, out of curiosity. We'll keep her just running at roughly this speed. I know we can go faster, but I don't want to risk moving at such a speed or we would not be able to stop in time. Past the yellow, we've got another yellow, and then we've got a red. That red is at Burgess... No, Wivelsfield, right. We'll just coast for the moment, because if necessary, we can still stop. Also, we are going downhill slightly. So I will actually... Okay, no. Is the next signal red? Yes, okay. Step a bit more harshly on the brakes. Not too harshly, but still quite harshly. Oh wait, is that a yellow now? Right, release the brakes. Give her a bit of welly. And so we're running at 40 miles per hour currently. Nice and slowly, but that means they've stopped, so that's maybe I thought I missed my chance there. Right. There's not a signal for a while, so we actually can open up the regulator a bit. And the next signal is also a yellow, so that's also good. Oh wait, right. Carefully. Just, once again, very careful manipulation of the regulator and the reverser. Actually, let's try to hold it around 50. As during the Museum Rail Fest event on 2nd to 10th of June 2012, Flying Scotsman was kept in front of Mallard. In a siding on its black livery, a report on the restoration was published in redacted form on 7th March 2013. On 23rd of March, the NRM announced that the deflectors and double chimney will be retained, including a return to its BR green livery to keep it as historically accurate as possible as number 6103. Right, next signal is Next two signals are yellow, but then it's a red. So in popular culture, let's take a look at this. Because of the LNER's emphasis on using the locomotive for publicity purposes and then its events for preservation history, including 2 international fours, it is one of the UK's most recognised locomotives. One of its first film appearances was in the 1929 film The Flying Scotsman, which featured an entire sequence set aboard the locomotive. She was also seen in the 1979 film Agatha, disguised as another of the Class 4474 Victor Wilde locomotives coupled air-appropriately with... is coupled to air-appropriate Gresley teak coaches. In 1985, she appeared alongside an Intercity 125 HST in a British Rail TV advert. She was featured in the Railway series books by Reverend W. Awdry, Thomas the Tank Engine series. The locomotive visited the fictional island of Soda on the book Enterprising Engines to visit its only remaining brother Gordon. During this time... Sorry, keeping an eye on the signals. Seems holding it around 50s. Oh, for fuck's sake. Are you kidding me? I took my eyes off it for 1 second and that's when this thing goes off. I'm actually going to apply the handbrakes in hopes of avoiding wheel slip. So I'm not too worried as such because we're already quite close to red signals and all that, so situation isn't too bad, but I'm not going to just... Yeah, that's... Because now we have to be very careful getting her up to speed. Well, has the next signal gone to green? Oh, that's fine. We'll still get there well ahead of schedule, I think. Now, the question is, are we losing pressure because... Yeah, it's safety, so that's fine. During this time, it had 2 tenders. This was a key feature of the plot of one of the stories, Tenders for Henry. When the story was filmed for the television series Thomas and Friends renamed Tender Engines, only Flying Scotsman's 2 tenders were seen outside the shed. He originally was intended to have a larger role in this episode, but because of budgetary constraints, the entire locomotive model could not be constructed. Flying Scotsman would make a full appearance in Thomas and Friends The Great Race, where he was voiced by Rufus Jones in all English-speaking regions. The locomotive was the first choice for Top Gear Race to the North, but due to the overhaul was unable to attend, so the position went to LNER Peppercorn Class A1 Tornado. Instead... Now. Nope, still safeties. The model of Flying Scotsman appeared in episode 6, The Great Train Race, episode of James May's Toy Story, so it was James May's personal childhood model and was chosen by him to complete a world record for the longest model railway. The train was meant to travel 7 miles from Barnstable to Bradford, North Devon, and it failed early in the trip in episode 6, but managed to complete it in The Great Train Race, which took place on 16th of April 2011. The model reappeared in James May The Reassemble, where it was completely disassembled and put back together by May's demonstration. One of the specially produced £5 coins for the 2012 Summer Olympics, featured an engraving of the Flying Scotsman on the back. Flying Scotsman is included as a locomotive in the PC simulator game Microsoft Train Simulator. She was featured in the BBC 4 documentary Flying Scotsman from the Footplate, broadcast on 29th of December 2016. Flying Scotsman is featured in racing Forza Horizon 4 in a showcase event in which the player must race the locomotive. Oh, well, that sounds interesting. Flying Scotsman is featured in the 2016 ITV documentary Flying Scotsman Robson Green, where the presenter spends a year with a team of engineers commissioned to rebuild the locomotive. And that's basically everything you need to know about the Flying Scotsman. So let's just get her into Brighton without hopefully any more issues, because we've had numerous emergency brake applications and stuff. So hopefully that just won't happen again. Okay, no, I was thought for a second, oh crap, we've just got a red. There is no, we did, no, that's the other track. No, but where's the locomotive in front of us? Like, I'm fine checking it now because that area is about to pull into Brighton, so that shouldn't be an issue. Hopefully, so that means we can pick up speed. We are going to need to slow down as we get into closer into Brighton. There we go. Right. Right, so we're almost up to 75. There we go. Just keeping it close. Eye on the signals. Okay. There we go. Still down to 40. Oh, god damn it. This is inconsistent. Because sometimes it pops up just before you reach the signal, sometimes it pops up a mile before you reach the signal, and I'm pissed off. Is this popping up because I was going faster than 40 miles per hour? Who the fuck knows? To be fair, like I said, we're way out of schedule anyway. So not too concerned. Oh! Nope. You know what? Never mind, just carry on. There we go, just slowly. There we go. Yep. We'll just stay at 25 miles per hour. Let's stay at 25. Hold up. Oh shit. So now we have to wait for the... Well, to be fair, I don't care at this point. There we go. Yeah, I don't care. Damn it. Things are going wrong. Yeah, I'm starting to get pissed off. There we go. There we go. Come on. But at least next one's just a thing. keeping a close eye on this time, because if this thing goes off, I'm stabbing someone. Yep. There. Bit more power. A bit more power. There we go. Almost in. What? Start braking. So yes, that was the second part of the run from London Victoria to Brighton with the 5 Scotsman. As you can see, there were issues, but we got there. I'm Bottom25. Goodbye.